It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Falacious.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you. I'm Philip Simon, the second.
Second, right? So we're emphasizing the second now. Phil, it's so great to have you back on the show. Of course, we missed Phil last Friday. We had our good friend Mark filling in for me. But of course, I always love to see my good friend Phil. So it's always the best for me when we're together. And so I'm happy that you're back, Phil. How's your dad doing?
He's progressing, actually. And thank you so much. And thank you to the team for kind of clarifying that flyer that went out last week with Philip Simon urgently needing blood. I got quite a few calls, but I am doing fine. As you said, my father is progressing. I guess by now he doesn't mind me saying he's dealing with a pretty aggressive form of prostate cancer. So yeah, he's been needing a lot of blood and he's got a journey ahead of him. But he sounded really good over the weekend. He was asking for native Bahamian fruits. So
Well, now's the time to ask, right? I hope somebody's hearing this and putting a basket together because it's certainly coming into the season. Our home has been filled with a lot of dillies lately. And so I've seen some mangoes starting to bear. And yeah, so this is the time. I'm with Pops, Phil. So I'm going to make sure that you do what you need to do to get that basket to him.
yes, thank you so much, Star. Listen, quite an interesting night. I know I fell asleep a little bit early, but I heard like, like there was some weather passing through and then you wake up and then you hear about this fire that's happening on Potter's Key. And I haven't seen anything yet, so I hope I'm not spreading bad news, but I really hope that everybody's okay. We're tending to take things for granted. So much is happening over the last 2 years or so. It almost feels like an end of days type of scenario. You have volcanoes erupting, you have pandemics, you have, hurricanes. It's just, I don't want to say the time of our lives, but certainly the time of our life.
Yeah, no, it has been some serious times. And so, of course, extending our hearts, right, to our family down there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, another Caribbean island, of course, with the eruption of that volcano this past weekend, as you would have indicated, knowing a very good friend of mine, Janine Branch Capron, who's actually from St. Vincent, and having worked as a youth ambassador for the Caribbean region through the Commonwealth program and the Ministry of Youth, knowing directly, some friends in St. Vincent. And so I know this is a tough time for them here on the island. Yeah, you indicated some horrible weather last night that first came in through Grand Bahama and then kind of just swept across our islands, almost like, hurricane season hasn't arrived yet, but it was trying us out, Phil. It was like, I'm just kind of testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But so yeah, we've had some challenges. I heard about the Porter's Key fire. I'm sure we'll hear more news on that throughout the day, but we're prayerful that no lives were lost. And hopeful that things will get better. That's all we can do, hope and pray. We certainly know that the vaccine has arrived on island. I do want to caution people though, Phil, not to take this vaccine for granted. One, the vaccine does not guarantee that you will not get this disease. That's the first thing that we need to know. Two, the vaccine does not prevent you from spreading the disease. The vaccine has been designed to prevent you from, getting drastically sick, so that we can get our healthcare system back on track mostly, and that people who need regular surgeries, et cetera, can get in there without, being locked out because of COVID. So even if you've gotten your first shot, remember that there are 2 shots in our country in particular, but you're taking AstraZeneca. And so even just with the first shot, you're still not full at that efficacy rate where you won't get as drastically sick. Right. And whether or not you've taken the shot, you can still pass it on. So we want to encourage you guys to wear your mask. I've been out this past weekend once or twice, seeing some people getting really laxed about this. Our numbers are still not at 0. And so we want to make sure that people remember that we still have to be very careful. Yeah, and so, go ahead.
We just cannot take a third wave of this thing. We just can't. Our economy can't. Our families can't. Businesses can't. And so I endorse everything that you say, Star.
Yeah, yeah. Before I continue lecturing, though, I want to just wish a very special belated happy birthday to my little brother, Hillary Hyler II. He celebrated on Saturday past, and just so proud. And I guess, I guess a bit in awe of the way the time has just flown by. So that's my first little baby. My mom had him when I was 8 years old, and now he's 25. So the years do go by quickly, and so we just wish you a very happy birthday week as you continue to celebrate age.
I have to smile every time you call him your little brother as he towers over you and just watching you gush and call this grown man little.
My baby, always gonna be.
But happy birthday, Hillary. 25 is a really special age. I'm looking at you, Star. You're looking so majestic this morning, looking very lovely this morning. And I'm reminded of the fact that even over the weekend, I think as well, the Duke passed away. This is the Queen's husband.
Yeah.
And I saw this other man talking about royalty, and they were referring to DMX. And I'm like, wow, you look back and if you're old enough, you definitely know who DMX was. Mm-hmm. And, so many tributes came in for him, right? And they remember, that rapper with the raspy voice and, the songs that he had. But what I remember most is the recent DMX. And I don't know if you ever heard that man pray in his latter years. But what a transformation. And if you don't believe in God,
you see DMX and he did where you feel. Yeah, no, it was like, again, another weekend of icon, cultural loss, losing, Prince Philip, who has visited the Bahamas, I think back in 1977. Then again, I remember the Queen coming for sure. My dad took me to see her in Grand Bahama at the courthouse, and I would have been a little girl. So that would have been in the 90s. I'm not sure if Prince Philip was with her. I think he was at that point. But certainly, these are great icons for us all. And then DMX, who he made our parties what they were, Phil, back in those days. And then certainly, as you said, even throughout this pandemic, he was just sharing prayers online and just encouraging people. And so, yeah, transformation is definitely possible.
Yeah. And I see we're getting cues from our producer. This is what happens. You miss one show and you put us back together and we just got to talk, right? But listen, we've got a great show planned for you. We'll talk to Open Systems Technologies about exciting new partnership. Ramona Wells is here to talk about the HBCU virtual college fair that's happening this weekend. We've been prepping for it. It's finally here. And we'll talk to Dr. Jan Isaacs about managing stress.
Awesome. We've got a new book author joining us to talk about her book launch. So we're excited about that and really excited about this segment, Phil. Abaco Beach Resort is going to be giving us an update on how things are going there. It's been about 15 months or a little longer since almost 2 years now since Dorian. And so this is exciting stuff to see this resort back. It's really been the hub of the Abacos for a very long time. So I'm looking forward to that segment. But before we get to any of the good stuff that we've got lined up for you, we're going to take a first look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas FIRST. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, John. Good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather sunrise, we have a frontal boundary that will move across Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco by about 10 o'clock this morning, New Providence, Andros, and Luthra by early afternoon. The session will this central Bahamas by late evening. High pressure will be quickly behind the system. No changes in temperature. Today, morning cloudiness with a few showers, even the chance of possible thunderstorms, becoming variable cloudiness and warm by afternoon. High temperature 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild. Still the chance of few lingering showers, going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some recent highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 83 and 77. In Jamaica, 81 and 71. In Trinidad, 81 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 86 and 68. Across North America, Atlanta, 78 and 51. In Raleigh, 79 and 56. In Miami, 86, 72. Dallas, Texas, 78 and 63. Toronto, Canada, 44 and 43. As we go through the week, high pressure will build across the islands. So we're looking at partly sunny skies, still on the warm side. Still the chance of 1 to 2 lingering showers. Temperature daytime will be in the lower 80s. At nighttime, in the mid 60s. That's what you're off your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Well, I'm so happy about our next segment. I'm going to be talking with a phenomenal woman. Her name is Miss Raquel Mins, and we must now call her author, right? So I'm going to call her author Raquel Mins. She just published 31 Days of Affirmations, penned in her inspiring new book, Affirm Her. And she's here to discuss it with us this morning. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, Raquel.
Good morning, Star, and good morning, Bahamas.
Such a joy to have you with us, Raquel. Congratulations on the book. I want to find out what inspired you to write this book.
Okay, so I've always been one who was always around women, surrounded by women. I've mentored girls growing up. And last year, of course, the peak of COVID, everyone either got to doing something. And I've always been a writer. My Facebook posts have always been long, and everybody's like, "Her, you need to write this book. You need to write this book." And I've always been that person. So last year, October, around my birthday, I actually launched a brand called Aim Her. So that's a brand to affirm, inspire, and motivate women to be there, to live out their lives, their full potential, to fulfill their God-given purpose. And from that came the book Affirm Her, a daily affirmation book. It's 31 days of affirmation. So I thought this would be the first big thing from the brand. So because I've always been that person to be around women, mentoring women, pushing them to live out their lives unapologetically, that's where the book came, the gift came. So COVID was good to me. COVID was really good to me.
All right, so that's awesome to hear. Aim her, affirm her, inspire her, motivate her, all words of encouragement that are necessary. And I think especially for a lot of women who've gone through COVID and not come out like you, they kind of feel a bit more depressed, a bit more sad, and so many of them are still not working. And so it's good to have this sort of motivational guide, I guess, to go through 31 days. We know a lot can change in 30 days. You can break habits in 30 days. And so 31 seems like the perfect number. But tell us, what are affirmations? Some people may not be familiar with the word. So what does an affirmation mean?
Affirmations are those positive things that you would speak over yourself. I truly believe that what we repeat and consciously say over ourselves, we begin to believe. And once you believe something, you then begin to live that out. So affirmation is something, those positive words that you would speak over yourself, whether it's a statement, whether it's a word, but something that would motivate you to actually be convinced that this is who I am. This is who I have. What I have to offer to the world. You know, when you start to repeat those things, you start to live those things. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. The more you hear it, the more you speak it, the more you believe it, the more it comes to pass, right? So what kind of affirmations are included in the book? Are you able to share any with us?
Yes, of course. So we have affirmations, like the first thing out the block is I'm beautiful, because a lot of women, we especially in a social media driven world, we look at so many other things and people for what is beautiful. So you define your own definition of being beautiful. You live that out in the true sense of the word. We have I'm enough. I'm unapologetically me. I am a solution. I'm original. I'm favored by God. We can go on and on. If you need more, I can give you more.
No. I don't want you to give us no more, because I want us to buy the book. So Raquel, like in the book, is it just the affirmation, or is there space to maybe write thoughts or to reflect? Is it a journal type of book, or maybe like a mini book? Kind of describe what the actual book looks like for me.
Okay, the book itself, it starts off with saying what that affirmation is. So at the beginning of each affirmation, you have, I affirm that, and whatever the word is. So I affirm that I am beautiful. Then you have, I would say, probably a devotional on that. And at the end, it's I declare that I say my affirmation in the book. I declare that I am. And I write something, then there's a list for you to then write. So it's a journal kind of book. So you write your own affirmation based on what my affirmation was. You lived out your truth.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, this is good, right? So it helps us to speak something into our life, and then we read and reflect something that supports that. And then we get to create our own words based on what we need. Yes. I love it. Yes. And then of course, we know that writing things out really helps us to believe it as well, right? Just like speaking it into existence.
And it's not just my words, these are your penned words, and you then begin to speak your affirmation over yourself.
Awesome. So Raquel, is there going to be a book launch?
Yes, I'm in the process of preparing a book launch. The book launch will be on May 8th at 4 p.m. It will be a virtual launch. So we're looking for, you can go to my Facebook handle, Raquel Mins. We'll be able to launch that in that hour, 4 to 5. And thereafter, we would have a drive-by. It's at the drive-by launch for your reserved copy. If you've reserved or pre-ordered your copy, you can pick that signed copy up through a drive-through launch at Trinity City of Praise, my church, after 5, anytime after the virtual launch is over. So the virtual launch should be 4 to 5, and thereafter we would have the drive-through launch. So we're currently pre-ordering books, and any of my social media handles, you'll find out how to do that, or you can WhatsApp me a message, 395-5259, and there you'll be able to pre-order your book. Your book then will be signed. You'd have your personal signed copy reserved for when you do the drive-by. So it would just be a pickup, take a quick pic, and then you can go be on your way.
Awesome. So Raquel, I want you to give us those social media handles again, just so that people know how to connect with you. One, so they can get the book, but two, so they can just continue to be inspired by some of the things you share.
Yes. So my Facebook handle is Raquel Mins. Instagram is Kel, Kelmins. And then Aim Her actually has an IG page as well. A.I.M.her.
Okay, A.I.M.her, Kel Mins on Instagram, and then Raquel Mins on Facebook. And is there going to be any other place that the book is sold? Will it be available locally at any stores or online at Amazon?
We are currently working on that right now. It's not on Amazon, neither is it in any stores as yet, but we will move forward as maybe by the launch, we would have those specifics in place to be able to let you know to where to get the book.
Awesome.
So right now, you can just contact me directly.
Awesome. Well, listen, Raquel, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm just so happy to see another woman just taking up this mantle of encouragement. So many of us need it so often, and just to know that we're not alone, you know?
We do. And then when women support another woman, it's really a motivational thing. I really love that.
Indeed. Well, thank you for continuing to inspire us, Miss Author Raquel Mins, and for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you too.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties. Whatever they may be, we equip you for the future, so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Grand Bahama business and industry are essential to the Bahamian economy. What are the challenges and opportunities? Find out at the 22nd Grand Bahama Business Outlook webinar, Thursday and Friday, April 29th to 30th via Zoom. Join us and get the facts from Senator Honorable J. Kwesi Thompson, Minister of State for Grand Bahama, and key experts. They will discuss the port, tourism, major industry, healthcare, technology, education, and more. Grand Bahama Business Outlook. Spaces are going fast. Register today at tclevents.com. That's tclevents.com.
The sports we play depend on the health we build. So let's stay healthy. Wear a mask and practice social distancing and hand washing to protect yourself and others. Remember, COVID-19 is not a game.
A public service message from the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Open Systems Technology, Bahamas, and Sology Solutions have entered into a strategic partnership to deliver network infrastructure and touchless technology to the hospitality and tourism industry in the Bahamas. Here to tell us more are Peter Bridgewater. He's president and CEO of Open Systems Technologies. Peter, once again, you should be hosting this show by now. And he is joined by, let me tell you, it's Christmas in the Bahamas. Ed Christmas, yes, he's the founder and managing principal of Sology Solutions. Good morning, gentlemen. Peter, welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Ed, welcome to the Bahamas.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Peter, you got a new relationship and you've got a new partner. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, with this being our 20th year, we wanted to stretch our arms business in another direction, and we were happy to partner with Ed Christmas from Sology Solutions, who provide innovative technology for network infrastructure, touchless solutions in Texas, where his company is based. And so we are happy to be here to introduce this. And we put out a press release yesterday and in the US to announce our partnership with our vendors to be able to provide solutions focusing on the hospitality and the tourism industry.
All right. Well, Ed, tell us all about it. It says innovative technology for tourism and hospitality. What's the focus of this partnership?
Yeah, it's based around IoT technology. IoT is Internet of Things, and it's really connecting the unconnected, making places and communities smarter, collecting data to improve situational awareness, safety and security, operational efficiency. So this pandemic highlighted the tourism industry specifically of how devastating it was to get people to, space and to not touch things. So it became apparent that technology was the only thing that could bring awareness to what's going on. Simple application is knowing how many people are in the bathrooms with a red and green light indicating, the occupancy is over 3 people. So you don't want to go into this bathroom, or restaurants, things like that. So smart technology has been around. You've heard the term smart cities and smart communities. And this pandemic just emphasized the importance of getting that technology in the hospitality and tourism industry as a prime candidate to bring their customers back in a safe environment.
Absolutely. I like the way you put that. You're connecting smart. You're putting the 2 words smart and connected together. When they're apart, they're very lonely. But it sounds simple. When you talk about data collection, right, Peter? Obviously, everybody wants information. You want information so that you can make informed, quote unquote, decisions. And we kind of take for granted, as I just said, the collection of data. So speak to us a little bit more, Peter, about how this technology will impact business. How will it make it more competitive? You talk about the pandemic, you talk about the impact on the tourism industry. Will this lead to job creation? What's the magic that we can expect?
Well, some of the technology that Sology provides in the network infrastructure platform will enable the touchless technology, will enable virtual concierge, will also be able to collect data based on the tourists visiting the resorts. And our focus is looking at the boutique resorts and hotels in the Family Islands to be able to introduce them to this type of modern infrastructure using artificial intelligence and the touchless technology to give them an ability to provide an enhanced customer journey and experience to their visitors. We know that hotels in Nassau and Grand Bahama and Abaco and Bimini and other islands could benefit from this. But we believe this focus on being able to give those small resorts and boutique hotels a competitive advantage using some of the technology that Ed brings to the table and merging it with some of the technology that we have for customer experience management and data capture to give these resorts the type of information that they can compile and configure a journey for that tourists when they come into their resorts and to their boutique hotels. And through that, we believe that by doing that, it will also be able to create some good jobs in the technology area. We'll work closely with Ed, and we'll work closely with our partners here in the Bahamas. We work very closely with BTVI in terms of the students from there, and bring that all together to give these boutique hotels and small resorts throughout the Bahamas, not leaving out the larger ones, and they can contact us too, because what we're looking to do is to drive this competition from these small boutique hotels so that the competition could be on a level playing field, and that they can provide an enhanced customer experience and journey for the tourists that come into their resorts.
Yeah. No, Phil, I just want to add, that's a very important point. When you talk about technology, traditionally people think technology is going to reduce jobs, and And we think just the opposite, especially in the service industry, because now that you have this data and awareness of what's going on, you could add resources to address crowded areas, to improve service and things like that, offer different types of services based on the data you're getting. So we see this as a employment multiplier based on what we will be collecting from the data.
Okay. Right. Well, elaborate just a little bit more on that, Ed. When we talk about the tourism industry, and of course we know that Sology is based over there in America, in a state that I know very well, of course. But is it a customized type of solution? Because I mean, not all businesses, quote unquote, like they say, are created equal, and so different applications can have different impacts, effect. Or is it really something that could work in the different scenarios that we have here in the Bahamas?
So I think there's two components to it. One is there is a basic core, and the word is infrastructure, right? Having the network in place, places that you probably didn't have before because of the advancement in wireless technology. Now we could extend that infrastructure into further places, remote places, et cetera. So that is the core foundation. So all of this is built on the core foundation. But to your point, different industries have different applications. Okay. For example, restaurants use QR codes for menus now. You no longer get a paper menu or a menu in your hand. You use your phone to open up the menu as well as paying. So yes, it has to be customized to that specific, not only vertical, but to the hotel itself and what they're trying to achieve.
All right, great, excellent stuff.
And to add to that, Phil, being able to capture that data and create that experience for the customer on that journey, and then to be able to use those data insights that help those resorts to be able to fine-tune the expectations of their guests as they visit the various boutique hotel and resorts in the Family Islands.
Yeah. And not just at the expectation of the guests, but to be able to use that information internally in terms of how they develop strategy, how they develop marketing. This is really good stuff. We're going to wrap up now, but Peter, and just really simply, I mean, people who are watching and they're all excited about this, give us your 30-second pitch that says, why OPS? Why Sology? I mean, why choose you to move forward in this regard?
I'll let you go first, Peter, and I have an answer for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have been doing this now in terms of capturing data for 20 years. Yeah. And we believe that that is important for businesses, and especially in the tourism and the hotel, hospitality industry, to be able to capture that data so that they can have good insights to provide an enhanced customer journey and experience for their guests.
Okay, yeah. Ed.
And I'll answer that. So Sology Solutions has been in business a little over 13 years. We look for partnerships like Open Systems, and a mutual friend connected myself with Peter, and we hit it off. But what we look for is niche markets that the big competitors aren't going after. And a lot of people think, oh, if the big guys aren't there, there's not, value in being there. And that's the opposite of what I believe. I believe the big guys aren't there because the market doesn't fit their model. And being a smaller entity, we're more nimble and agile to address the customer's need and deliver a great solution. And that's what we built our company's reputation on, getting into those niche markets and being successful.
All right, excellent stuff, guys. Thank you so much. Peter Bridgewater, President and CEO of Open Systems Technologies, still celebrating those 20 years. And Ed Christmas, Founder and Managing Principal of Sology Solutions. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here on Bahamas.
Thank you. Have a great day. All right. Take care.
You too. Thank you. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
At Cutest, we put your baby's health and happiness first. We are an online baby boutique based in Nassau. We have searched far and wide to provide you with unique products and exquisite gifts that will please modern parents looking for all natural, safe, and unique alternatives to what can be found locally. Quantities are limited, so don't delay. You've come to the right place. Visit us at cutest.com. We'll be waiting on you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, that time is finally here. The Bahamas chapters of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Inc. and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority will hold the 2021 HBCU Virtual College Fair this coming Saturday, April 17th, 2021. We have the master teacher in the house, and I say that as humbly as I can, Ramona Wells. In this capacity, she's HBCU College Fair Committee member. Good morning, teacher. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let me just firstly say congratulations for all of the tremendous accomplishments you just continue to attain in your career. So very proud of everything that you do, but so good to have you back on the show.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So we've been talking about this from February. It's finally here. It's certainly a time of year so many parents and students and administrators look forward to. It's the HBCU College Fair. Tell us all about it.
So, like you said, it's finally here. April 17th, 2021, we go live in our largest, I believe, the largest international virtual HBCU college fair this country, the region, I think the world has ever seen. I'm not biased in any way, but we are excited that we have more than 1,000 students who have signed up already. And so my job today is simply to remind students that the deadline for sign up is April 15th, 2021. And, you know, this fair is exciting because the opportunity is a bit different. If you've ever attended a college fair, it was more like the college presidents were not present. You only had recruiters in the room. You went to a recruiter and you sold yourself to the recruiter. But this fair allows our students to meet 20 college presidents, and on the spot, all of them with scholarships in their hand can now vie for these scholarships. And so this is an amazing opportunity for our students. This is a time when they can come pitch their self, talk about what they've been doing in their school career, and just basically win and gain these opportunities for scholarships.
All right, so let's kind of give people right away the information they need to register and attend. We don't want to lose track of that because like you say, I mean, it's a tremendous opportunity. I don't know if other college fairs actually do this, but how can people register? How is the day going to work? Is it just one day of the fair this weekend? Because, you know, in past, when it was in person, it was spread out over several days.
That's correct. So this year, we've decided to do one day. So like I said, April 17th, 2021. And so you go to www.thinkhbcu242.com. We have our website set up. You click on the link to register. And once you register, you're going to get an email from a team called Team Dynamics. We have partnered with Team Dynamics out of Baton Rouge, as well as the Hoover app, WHOVA. And so that app is going to be sending you instructions as to how the day will progress. So students can choose 3 of their top choices in the universities we have listed there. They get to go into those rooms. You can meet with the college presidents in those rooms, and you can more or less just move through the app, and you can connect and network with people across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This opportunity, like you said, was 4 days over a period of time. But our Family Island students didn't have that opportunity because they wouldn't fly into Nassau to be a part of it. But in this virtual space, we see where persons from Inagua, Ragged Island, they've all signed on, they've all registered, and so they're ready for this opportunity. So again, you go to www.thinkhbcu242.com and you register and continuously check your email for that instruction on how to download the Hoover app.
I tell you, it's a tremendous opportunity. You talk about these presidents that are going to be online, live, and of course, these presidential scholarships, right? It's an opportunity of a lifetime, particularly during depressed economic times, in the middle of the pandemic. The opportunities like this just aren't there. What are the requirements or any special criteria that persons who sign up this coming Saturday should be prepared or should have with them as a part of their attendance?
Okay, so definitely each university has their separate requirements.
Okay.
And so a president's scholarship at a school like, let's say, Philander Smith would be different from something like maybe what Bennett would have. Their requirements would be different. But what we do require our students to bring, if they have ACT scores, if they have their SAT scores, BGCSE results, their transcript, what you would take into any normal interview room if you're looking for a scholarship, we tell students have those items on hand because, like I said, 20 schools, 20 different opportunities, 20 different college presidents to speak to, and 20 different criteria that you may find yourself in a room that may say to you, I don't want your SAT and ACT. Tell me your story. Tell me, what does education mean to you? And so it's all about what that school requirement would be. And we don't really have the breakdown as to what it is because on the spot, the president may say, I like your energy. I like your story. I want to help you. You get a full ride. Yeah. And that's what we saw in 2019 when we had some of our students apply face-to-face. The college president on the spot, because of just the character of the student, the grades, and then all of the other attributes, said, I see your push, I see your drive, full scholarship.
Wow. Again, you just cannot understate the significance of the opportunity. And of course, you're not going to get it if you're not present, right? So once again, give us those websites. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to say. I know those backers behind you, they're always going to make sure that you get as much information out as possible. But again, give us the website. Tell us how people get more information, not just on the HBCU college fair, but in general, about the opportunity and why this is just so important for their educational future. And of course, that translates back into the overall success of our country, right?
Most definitely. We know that our students who attended HBCUs, you would have found in the month of February when we did the Black History Month, those persons that came on and spoke about their HBCU experience, me being Morgan State, go Bears, the experience itself, it's so different. You go on a campus and like everyone said, you're no longer a number. You are a person, you're an individual. And so everyone helps you along the way. There's always someone who you can always call on for assistance. There's someone who's trying to bring you along. And so this college fair, the Historically Black College and Universities 2021 Virtual College Fair, is an opportunity of a lifetime for our students who are looking to transition into tertiary education abroad. And so I would remind them, www.thinkhbcu242.com. I would also tell them register early because there are only 5,000 slots. 1,100 of them have been filled already. And so I think after this week, after this show, it's going to skyrocket. And so you would want to definitely register today. And we thank our corporate sponsors. We thank the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha, for seeing the need to push this initiative and just to invest in our Bahamian students.
Yep, you took the words right out of my mouth. Perfect way to end. Thank you so much. Ramona Wells, so many different things. I just call her outstanding. HBCU College Fair Committee member. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Doctors Hospital is proud to introduce the Loyalty Advantage Membership Program, or LAMP. LAMP offers medical service discounts to new and existing Doctors Hospital patients. With membership starting as low as $20 per month, LAMP benefits include fee waivers for insured patients, discounts on inpatient and outpatient services, access to free imaging services, and much more. For a full list of benefits or to sign up for LAMP, visit doctorshos.com/LAMP. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Bahamas at Sunrise kicks off the new year in style with a fashion series hosted by yours truly. It's Fashion with Cardell McClown, your guide through all the seasons, from challenges to interviews to fashion shows. We'll help you create your style, build your brand, and celebrate the best in Bahamian fashion. It's big, it's bold, it's fashion with Cardell McClown.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thanks for staying with us throughout the morning. We hope you've been enjoying the show. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Philip Simon. Happy Monday to you, Star. It's been pretty good thus far. I'm always impressed with the work that your soror, your fraternities and sororities do. It's just such an excellent opportunity for for our students.
It really is, Phil. The stories that come out of our HBCU career fair, the kids that we've had the opportunity to see go to college, I can't stop smiling when I think about it because they've all gone off and done so well. And so many of us just need the opportunity. I'm a scholarship student, got my first chance to go to University of the Bahamas through JA, got a chance to go to the University of Miami through the work I'd done at College of the Bahamas. And you just need the opportunity. And so HBCU College Fair is that. Please, please, please go ahead and register. You do not know what doors can open for you, but they will never open if you don't try.
Yeah, very much so. Again, of course, Raquel Mins. Again, great stuff. Author. I mean, listen, we don't even have the time here on Bahamas at Sunrise, but we've got more to come in the second half of the show. I'll be speaking with Dr. Jan Isaacs about stress management.
And I'm also looking forward to a great conversation with Abaco Beach Resort. But before we get to any of that, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather sunrise, front boundary will move across Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini early morning, but New Providence, it looks around us by early afternoon. High pressure will build quickly behind that system. Don't expect any significant change in temperatures. In the marine forecast, wind today southwest to west at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet ahead of that cool front, shifting northwest to north at 15 knots. 3 to 5 feet behind that frontal system over the northwest Bahamas, but south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Tuesday, those winds become northerly at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over all the islands, and on Wednesday, northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over all the areas falling light and variable at times. Yeah, tides. You can expect a high tide at 8:54 this morning. Next low tide at 3:04 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 9:15. Sunset 7:29 this evening. Rising at 6:49. UV index 8. Your water temperature 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase no moon. Your extended outlook. Cloudiness this morning, but expect some improvement by late morning and the afternoon as the cold front passes through. And over the next 5 days, partly sunny skies and warm temperatures. The temperature daytime will be in the low to mid-80s at daytime and the mid-60s at nighttime. That's what's wrapping your fun because by the sunrise, I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Well, I've been looking forward to this segment all morning. The Abaco Beach Resort is back and better than ever. That's according to the Caribbean Journal, the world's largest website covering the Caribbean. And here to tell us more on the resort, very happy to welcome Mr. Brent Ingram. He's the sales and marketing manager at Abaco Beach Resort. Mr. Ingram, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Anastasia. It's a pleasure to be here and to be speaking to the wider audience in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to have you. Our heart has gone out to Abaco. So many of us, just watching as things happen there through Dorian, unable to assist in that moment, but trying our best post-Dorian to be our brother's keeper. Of course, I think it gives us all great joy and relief to see some economic activity back on the island, particularly with your hotel, which has kind of been like a beacon for many, many years in the Abacos. So tell us about the reconstruction and transformation of the resort that followed Hurricane Dorian.
Well, immediately following Hurricane Dorian, our owners and management hit the ground running. I would say a week after the hurricane, pilings were ordered, and we immediately began construction on the marina. And so it took us about 8 months to get ourselves back up and running to the extent that we are today. But the good thing about it is that the resort never closed. And so we, again, as you mentioned, a beacon for the community. We were here to help the local NGOs, the international NGOs, because they needed some place to stay. And so we were able to safely do that. As you may or may not know, one of our owners has his own construction company. And so he was able to quickly mobilize, bring persons from Nassau. We housed them at the resort, fed them 3 meals a day. They worked 6 days a week to get the job done. And we're very happy with the end product. We have certainly transformed the resort into a really fantastic place for our guests to stay.
Awesome, awesome. So it's good to know that you guys have been that beacon even throughout the transition for the entire island. But of course, now I guess the focus kind of returns to, tourism, both domestic and international. Have you been seeing an uptick in bookings lately?
It's been very, very encouraging. The first 3 months of the year, we were averaging around about 40 to 45% occupancy with peaks and valleys. Interesting enough, this past weekend, we were sold out at the resort, which was quite interesting and very encouraging, certainly for management. And so the phones continue to ring. Reservations via emails are also increasing. So these are very encouraging signs. And the good thing about it too is that we're going into our busy season from April through the end of August. And so we anticipate that those individual occupancy levels will continue to safely increase. And so we're very encouraged. We're certainly staffing up to make sure that we have the staffing levels or property to make sure that we are servicing our guests. But it's very encouraging both in the hotel and certainly in the marina.
Excellent. And let's kind of talk about the marina, right? Abaco has always been a jewel of boating for the nation. And, we kind of saw that taken away as Dorian came through. So how is the marina doing now? Are the boaters and yachters getting back to their playground?
That has been the most encouraging segment of our business. It continued throughout the entire renovation process. We were a place where persons can certainly get fuel. They could come into the marina. It was a safe harbor. But the marina has been completely rebuilt from the ground up. We have a total of 200 slips. We've expanded the fueling dock. Again, 24-hour security at the marina, custom immigration. So these are some of the key aspects that persons look forward to in terms of marina. And then we're centrally located. So persons wanting to be able to move the island hopping aspect of it. It's quick, it's easy. And then certainly for the persons that are interested in the deep sea fishing, in terms of getting out to the deep water, we're in close proximity to that. So we are ideal. So when the fish start migrating north, we are in position to really take advantage of that. And those boaters really love the convenience of being so close to that shelf.
Excellent, excellent. Do you think the COVID-19 vaccine is going to just kind of add more to those numbers? You're already kind of looking forward to a relatively good summer. Do you think it's going to get even better as more people are vaccinated?
Absolutely. The good thing about it is that we're looking forward to the vaccination. I think that the government has done a great job in terms of controlling, putting in protocols in place for the persons wanting to travel to the islands. Here at our resort, we kind of created a bubble as well. Persons coming onto the property, of course, persons coming to the island must have the PCR test, but certainly persons coming on the property also needs to be tested, whether they're coming just as individual guests of the restaurants or they're staying at the property. But we're encouraged. We're hoping that as many persons in the United States and throughout the entire world take advantage of the vaccine because I think it's going to certainly transform and allow for our industry to continue to grow. And we're here. We are just waiting for those persons to arrive because we know they want to come and they want to certainly enjoy their playground.
Indeed. I know I want to come and enjoy it. I read that Caribbean Journal article. I saw my good friend, Chef Disha there. The fish looks delicious. And so definitely wanting to get there as soon as possible. While I have you though, Mr. Ingram, would you be so kind just to let us know how is the mood on the island generally outside of just the resort? Are things starting to come together again? How are people feeling on Abaco?
The Abaconians are very resilient. What we are seeing is that they are very encouraged. When I drove through the town, because I'm back and forth, I don't stay on the island, but I come every 2 weeks and spend 2 weeks on the island. So I get to see the change over those time periods. And I can say that persons are very encouraged. I can see the traffic is building. I can see the major renovations taking place. They're all at different paces because everybody has different situations. But we are encouraged, I think, with some of the things that we're doing, some of the other resorts, the other islands are doing, getting their operations up and running. And I had the opportunity to basically do some boating the past 2 days and going to the individual keys. And I can tell you that the enthusiasm I've seen in the keys, the renovations that have been done, getting themselves all ready for the season. This is the opportunity now to take advantage of that. And everybody's gearing up themselves for that because they see the interest growing. I mean, another note is that, what we have seen with the increase is that we were able to speak to the key partners and influencers because we recognized that the increase, we needed additional airlift to the island. And we were able to successfully speak with Bahamas Air. They are increasing their flights to the Abacos just to be able to accommodate the volume of business that we're anticipating. So thanks to Bahamas Air for allowing that to happen for us, and certainly our partners at the Ministry of Tourism as well. But it was a coordinated effort between all the stakeholders here in the island to make that happen. So that gives a good indication of what's to come.
I believe you. Well, Mr. Ingram, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. I can't stop smiling, as you can see. I'm just so encouraged by this news and just hopeful for Abaco. Always just an amazing island. Green Turtle Key might just be one of my favorites. I don't want to, put myself out there, call it a favorite, but still absolutely in love with that magical place. And so I'm hopeful that things will continue to get better for you all. Thanks again for joining us.
No, it's my pleasure. And certainly to the wider Bahamian community and those who are watching internationally, the Abacos are open. We are here to welcome you, and you're going to have a wonderful and exciting experience. Thank you.
Indeed. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise, and we'll be right back.
Bahamas at Sunrise kicks off the new year in style with a fashion series hosted by yours truly. It's Fashion with Cardell McClown, your guide through all the seasons, from challenges to interviews to fashion shows. We'll help you create your style, build your brand, and celebrate the best in Bahamian fashion. It's big, it's bold, it's Fashion with Cardell McClown. The sports we play depend on the health we build. So let's stay healthy. Wear a mask and practice social distancing and hand washing to protect yourself and others. Remember, COVID-19 is not a game.
A public service message from the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
Welcome back to the show. Certainly we all could use some expert advice on managing and reducing stress. We've got the expert in the house. She's been with us so many times here on Bahamas at Sunrise, Dr. Jeanette Martin-Isaacs, behavioral therapist at Doctors Hospital Health System. Good morning, Doc. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning. How are you, Philip?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. What a topic this morning. It feels as though we have been stressed filled for the last several years here. So many things that have been happening, so many different occurrences, pandemic notwithstanding, hurricanes, depressed economy. There's just a lot going on in our individual and collective lives.
Yes, there's a lot going on. And since last year, March, it's a year now that all of us throughout the entire world has been under some form of stress, some level of stress due to COVID, and then COVID has brought so many other stressors in our lives. And before I even start to talk about what we could do to help to alleviate some of the stress, because some stress come and we just don't have the tools to deal with it. And so how to deal with ourselves during the stressful times helps to alleviate some of the stimuli that comes at us. And stress really it's a mental, physical, and a behavioral response to outward stimuli in the environment that is affecting our mental state, our physical state, and then how we behave. What I would like to suggest to persons is, because we cannot stop the external stimuli, in some cases we need to adapt some of our behaviors so that we learn how to find ways to relax, to deep breathe, and to manage the stimuli that keeps coming at us. Because stress really affects our blood pressure, our blood sugars, our blood cholesterols. It affects our hearts. It affects many organs in our bodies. And so finding ways to really manipulate and to relax and deal with the stresses that are coming at us daily, it's very important to controlling those physiological responses and psychological responses as well, because our mental states are affected when we're under a heavy load of stress, Phil, as you know, being in the job that you manage with persons. And so you're dealing with your stress, your mental abilities, and trying to control your ways of thinking and doing things, and then having to deal with your staff at work to make them comfortable, find ways to help to relieve their stress, and also your family.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And you talk about controlling this. It doesn't seem, and we talk about stress management, right? It's not something that seemingly you can eliminate from your life. All of these external triggers, as you call them, are going to be encountered on a daily basis, right? So what are some of the ways that we can deal with stress, or even lessen or eliminate these triggers that occur constantly?
Okay, now what I like to suggest to persons is to practice awareness, and that's simple and that's easy for us to do. Practice awareness of being in the moment, and try and work on controlling what is in your sphere, what is in your immediate environment, and that starts with just slowing down. I take the word stress and I flip it into something positive. When I'm beginning to feel anxious or overwhelmed, or I have clients I'm working with, I say to them, just slow down. When we slow down, we're able to stay calm, we're able to calm our breathing, we're able to deep breathe, and we're able to focus on that one thing that is in front of us. When we slow down, we're able to think. As we know that the stress hormones, the cortisone and cortisol, they're high and they're raging through the body. And so we're able to slow down all of those physiological responses, our heart rate, our blood pressures, and we're able to think. And when we could think, then we could think of ways to handle what is before us right then. It may be something to do with the kids. It may be something to do on the job. You may have many things coming at you, but you pick the most important and you're able to think through that. You find some resources. That's the R in stress. And those resources may just be in your home, with your family, or it could be with someone on a Zoom call who may have said something, because now we're meeting on Zoom. A lot of our meetings have been reduced to not face-to-face on Zoom rather than going into the office. And so there are many resources. You can go online and look up resources to manage your stress. And then the next letter in stress is examine those resources and see what works best for you, because what works for you may not work for me. It may not keep me mindful. It may not keep me focused. I may not be one that likes to sit down and just be still. I like to put on some music and dance, or go for a run, go for a walk, a nature walk. Try not to stress eat, because sometimes when we feel like life is out of control and we're anxious, we reach for food. And the food only satisfies for the moment. And so examine and evaluate what is coming at you. And then the next letter in stress is in examining what's coming at you, you're going to find some solutions, and you could strategize using some of those resources and that come with you and create solutions. And of course, your support systems, whoever those support systems are for you, then reach out to them. If you find after applying some of the stress tools like mindfulness or walking or exercise or deep breathing, and you're not sleeping well, because stress also disturbs our sleep patterns, then reach out to a counselor or someone whom you trust, who you can sit and talk with, because stress can destroy not only our mental health, it can destroy our behaviors, hence our relationships, and also our physical health.
Yeah, but certainly, Jan, you just gave us a masterclass. You've summarized everything. I don't even have another question for you except this one. In the absence of improvement using all of those techniques and suggestions you made, when might clinical intervention be necessary?
Pardon? I missed parts of your question.
I said, in the absence of any progress or improvement on the suggestions that you would have made, when might clinical intervention be necessary, if necessary?
Oh, yeah, that's an excellent question, Phil. You know, a lot of us hate to admit that we need help, and that's just human behavior. But when you see that you're not sleeping for days, like you're going for a long time with not sleeping, or you're reaching for substances like alcohol or other drugs, you're smoking more, or you're smoking and you never smoked, definitely drinking more alcohol, your home environment is becoming abusive, you're abusive onto yourself through those behaviors, and then now those behaviors are infiltrating your personal environment, then it's time for you to seek and get some help. You know, sleep patterns are disturbed for longer than a week or even 2 weeks. You're reaching for substances, alcohol and other substances, and you're being abusive. You're not only being abusive to yourself through the choice of those substances, but you're abusive in your relationships. Then it's time for you to get some help. Sit with someone who can help you to navigate the crisis that you find yourself in.
Well, you said it twice, so it must be very important. So, Jan, thank you so much. We're out of time once again. Dr. Jeanette Martin-Isaacs, Doctors Hospital Health System Behavioral Therapist. Good seeing you, Jan.
Thank you, Phil. It's always good seeing you. Have a wonderful day.
All right, good. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The COVID-19 pandemic demands the most modern techniques and highest standards of sanitizing to ensure the safety of schools, businesses, churches, and the ones we love. Treeline Divine Professional Sanitizers offers state-of-the-art electrostatic technology, providing maximum efficiency and coverage to protect your environment and preserve your health against mold and 99% of bacteria and viruses, including COVID-19. With pricing to match your budget and standards to meet your highest expectations, we invite you to contact us for a free analysis of your weekly, monthly, or single-use needs. COVID-19's impact is strong, but our commitment to restoring your safety is even stronger. Treeline Divine Sanitizing. Spread confidence.
Doctors Hospital is proud to introduce the Loyalty Advantage Membership Program, or LAMP. LAMP offers medical service discounts to new and existing Doctors Hospital patients. With membership starting as low as $20 per month, LAMP benefits include fee waivers for insured patients, discounts on inpatient and outpatient services, access to free imaging services, and much more. For a full list of benefits or to sign up for LAMP, visit doctorshos.com/LAMP. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Thank you so much for staying with us on Bahamas at Sunrise today. We hope you enjoyed the show. All going well, Phil. We'll be back with more next Friday.
And no doubt, have a wonderful week, and also be safe out there. See you soon.